Name Antonio Sledge, ANTONIOSLEDGE.
Good morning, Mr. Sledge, and you are perfectly situated, turning to the jury so that they can hear you. I'm going to stand over here so that you speak loud enough so that the last juror can hear you, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sledge, would you please tell the jury how old you are?
43 is the age.
Where did you grow up?
Atlanta, Georgia.
What part of the city did you grow up in?
Downtown Atlanta.
Did you also go to high school in Atlanta?
Yes.
And what high school did you attend?
Southside High School.
Did you finish?
No.
What grade did you finish? The last grade you completed?
Probably the 9th grade.
By 9th grade, could you read and write though?
Yes.
All right. Now, do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, brothers.
How many?
3 living.
Where did you fall in line with your siblings? Oldest, youngest, middle?
Next to the youngest.
All right. Do you know of a person named Kenneth Copeland who answers to the name Woody?
Yes.
All right. You sort of frowned up your face. Why'd you do that?
No reason.
All right.
Come on now.
Do you know of a person named Jeffrey Williams who answers to the name Thug?
Yes.
What about a person named Shannon Stillwell or Shannon Jackson who answers to the name SB?
Yes.
Do you know a person named Diamante Kendrick who answers to the name Yak?
Yes.
Do you know a person named Demikion Garlington who answers to the name Lil D?
Yes.
Do you know a person named Quindarius Zachary who also answers to the name Lil D?
Yes.
How do you distinguish one Lil D from the other when you're just talking in regular conversation?
I call both of them D.
Okay. And if someone asks you which D, how do you respond?
D.
If you're talking about Quindarius Zachary?
D. Lil D.
Lil D? Do you know of a person named Rodelius Ryan?
No.
Okay. Do you know of a person named Marquavius Huey who goes by the name Quay?
No, I don't know him, but I've heard it around the way.
So you do know of him, or you?
I know of him.
Okay. What about Quamarvius Nichols? Do you know of a person named Quamarvius Nichols who answers to the name Quay as well?
Of him.
Do you know a person named Quantavius Greer who answers to the name Umfunk?
Yes.
Do you know of a Dolly Greer or a Max Greer?
Yes.
What about Dora Greer?
Yes.
All right. Do you know them to be Jeffrey Williams' sisters?
Yes.
Now tell the jury, if you will, how well you would say that you know Jeffrey Williams.
I've been knowing Jeffrey Williams since he was probably like 16.
How many years would that make it that you've known him?
What is 2024? Probably like it's been a minute. I can't really, off the top of my head, I don't really know.
If it was when he was 16, about how old were you when you first met him?
I was 20 something. I was probably like 26. I'm about like 10 years older than Jeffrey.
Okay. Tell the jury, if you will, how well you know Shannon Stillwell or SB.
Well, I met Shannon around like 2014, 15, somewhere in that area.
When you say you met him around 2014 or 2015, what does that mean for you in terms of how well you know him?
I know we built a great relationship.
And was that from the start? From the time that you met him to now, you all have had a great relationship, or is that something different?
You said could you repeat yourself?
Yes, I can. Did you all have that great relationship that you just described for the jury from the moment that you all met, or did it develop over time?
From the time that we met.
Okay. And do you all still have that same great relationship?
Well, I haven't talked to Shannon because he's been incarcerated.
Okay, hold up. Your Honor, we would move to strike that last portion.
Yeah, please disregard that. All right, give me just a second. Y'all didn't even get comfortable. I'll have to excuse y'all and see you back again in a few minutes.
Mr. Sledge, could you step outside?
Your Honor, may it please the court, on behalf of Mr. Stillwell, we are moving for a mistrial at this time. There's been a comment about my client, comment from witness Antonio Sledge about my client being incarcerated. It is prejudicial to my client, suggests a criminal history, it suggests a flight risk. It prejudices my client. Also, Your Honor, I would just note for the record that Mr. Sledge, my understanding is Mr. Sledge has been cooperative with the state, meaning he's made himself available. His attorney, Mr. Derek Wright, is here. Mr. Sledge has been here all morning. There's absolutely no reason that the state knew what questions they were going to ask. They knew that they were going to ask about the relationship with my client at this time. The duty is on the state to prepare their witnesses to not relay or testify to prejudicial material such as my client being incarcerated throughout this trial, and they failed to do so. So we're moving for a mistrial at this time.
Ms. Love.
Judge, the state objects to a mistrial. The question that I posed was not one I expected this witness to bring up Mr. Stillwell's incarceration. We'd ask simply for a limiting instruction for a few reasons. One, Mr. Schardt indicated that his mistrial motion is based on the witness's reference to Mr. Stillwell's incarceration. There has been admitted as evidence that Mr. Stillwell got incarcerated at some point. We expect further testimony to come out with details about Mr. Stillwell's becoming incarcerated, and the witness's statement on the stand, even where I asked that it be struck, does not rise to the level of meriting or warranting a mistrial. And I can go outside and further caution him to not talk about anyone's incarceration.
Okay, and isn't Mr. Stillwell in fact charged in this indictment with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon?
He is.
Okay.
He is, Your Honor, and I don't think there's any dispute that my client was incarcerated at some point. He's been arrested for these charges. I mean, I think everyone would acknowledge that. But the fact that he's still incarcerated, and I just don't understand how the state could ask, how's your relationship with him on this date or today? And they wouldn't expect a witness who apparently wasn't prepped to say Oh, well, actually, I haven't been able to talk to him because he's incarcerated. That seems like a very
Well, that's
likely
not
answer.
exactly what happened.
Well, whatever the transcript shows, it seems like that was a very predictable answer to that question.
Okay, I mean, it sounded to me the way it came up. Please do further caution him, but it did not sound like that came up as a purposeful question to secure that kind of evidence before the jury. It was essentially like, how is your relationship with Mr. Stillwell? Well, he'd been incarcerated. That could be, and that's all that he ended up saying. That could have been at any point in the past. That did not indicate right now he is presently incarcerated. I'm going to deny the motion for mistrial. If you want any kind of instruction, let me know that. But given that evidence has already and is going to come out that at some point in Mr. Stillwell's past, he has been incarcerated, this really is nothing beyond what they're going to know anyway.
May I step outside?
You may. Do you want any sort of other instruction, curative instruction?
May I have a moment?
Sure.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I believe that you have already instructed the jury to disregard the last comment. So at this point, I don't want to bring more attention to it. I would, for the record, though, renew my motion for mistrial to preserve this issue and reserve it before the next questions.
All right, understood.
Thank you.